Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by that prize guy.
It's another cacophony of noise. Kirby's 28-year-old pocket rocket.
What an uppercut from Nick Bull.
With it, ball comes back. Body, then head. Now Figueroa's turn. Here we go, guys. But back comes Bull. Oh, down he goes. Nick Bull. Oh, drama in the final round. Figueroa, he's going to take Nick Bull out here. He's through the ropes. Figueroa has won the world featherweight title all over again.
Welcome back to the M&S Bank Arena. Welcome to Beyond the Bell as the fans file out of here. It was a night of celebration that in the end turned to disappointment for the Liverpool fans. And look, I guess we are going to need to give Brandon Figueroa his credit, and we will. But obviously a lot of the talking point will be about that Nick Bull getting stopped here and losing his WBA featherweight crown. Carl Frampton, Barry Jones, Darren Barker, the team have been assembled to discuss this. Carl, I want to start with you. That wasn't expected, that wasn't in the script, but we all said, I think universally, all boxing fans said, this was going to be a tough fight for Nick Bull.
Absolutely. Yeah, we all knew it was going to be a tough fight. You know, maybe the casual fan didn't know much about Brandon Figueroa or who he was, and they looked at his dimensions, and he's tall and a lot taller than Nick Bull, but he looked very skinny and not much to him. But the kid can really fight, and he can dig in. He has a massive heart as well. I mean, the output is incredible. Yeah. And the shot at the end, there was nothing in it, but because he was making Nick Bull have to work so hard, and it was a well-timed shot, Nick Bull was coming on to it, it literally cleaned him out. And I think a lot of it was down to exhaustion. But Brandon Figueroa's performance there tonight was exceptional, as was Nick Bull's at times as well. And this is what happens at the very high level of sport. You win some and you lose some.
Exactly that. We do have, or we know the official scorecards going into that final round before the knockdown, so it wasn't a case of Brandon Figueroa needed that knockdown. Obviously that puts the icing on the cake, Barry, but he was ahead on two of the judges' scorecard going into that final round anyway.
Yeah, it was a close fight, which I think you could have either went ahead, which obviously the scores were quite wide, I think, even though it was one for Ball and two for Figueroa. But Figueroa, he's battle-tested. Time and time again, his whole career has been about he just outlasts you, I think, and that's where his strength is. But we thought, and most thought probably, that he'd shown in his last few fights he'd been a little bit jaded, and maybe that might be the problem, the speed. And I think in the early rounds, the speed of the ball was effective. He was just outworking him at times, where Figueroa was just pushing the punches out. The faster, cleaner work from Ball was having an effect, but he kept plugging away, making Ball work hard, making him work hard, and then when he had the chance to land that beautiful shot, as Cal said, fatigue plays his part there, but you still got to throw the shot. And again, knowing in that last round, you can't afford to lose that round for both swinging, and he got caught throwing, and that was the outcome. And he bravely got up.
You know what's interesting?
He wasn't aware of his senses at that point.
You know what's interesting, Darren? I was listening to you on comms, and you were saying that a lot of the shots that he was planting his feet at were to go to the body. And in the end, he actually plants the feet to go up top. So it's almost like he was mixing it up quite well as well, disguising that he was going to go to the body, then bang, up
Exactly
top.
what you say, they're disguising it. That's intelligence. That's form from a two-weight world champion. Yeah. That's someone who knows how to win big fights. And yeah, look, the team were thrilled at the end there, kicked off a little bit, but you can understand why emotions are high. But yeah, look, it was a close fight. The scorecard that had Ball up was a little wide. I had Ball by 1. And I think sometimes when you're scoring fights yourself, which are subjective, I kind of like the sharp counter-punching at times, and that's why I had him up by 1. I had it level after 10, but it just had so much jeopardy. To win the fight in that sort of fashion was incredible. And yeah, I mean, some rebuilding to do for Nick Bull.
I think we all knew it was going to be close, Addy. I had a few quid actually on a split decision result anyway, Ball or Figueroa, so Figueroa owes me a few quid.
Moment you've lost.
What's going through Bull's head here is he makes that walk back, and it's a long walk, isn't it? It's a difficult walk. It's his hometown. He only lives a few minutes from this arena, so he is a local lad, and they all were out here, nearly 8,000 or 9,000 packed into this place for him. How difficult is that now to recover from?
It's going to be extremely difficult, but you know, he's got a good team of people around him. He's clearly got, look, we've seen what happened in the ring at the end. Maybe not the nicest thing, but he's got a lot of people that support him and will back him, and I like that kind of camaraderie in that gym. So he'll need their help to help get over this. But I mean, it happens. If he thinks about it rationally, he's lost to a very good fighter at the very top level in this game. It doesn't make him a bad fighter overnight. He can come again and maybe move up a weight division, who knows, but there's still a big future ahead for Nick Ball.
I would say the initial thing is devastation for everyone. It's your life, and you feel like your life's over. You think everything's just the worst, you're the lowest of your low. But as time goes by, you didn't get outboxed.
Yeah.
You weren't getting beat up. You were in a fight that was very, very close. You just got caught with a good shot in the last round. I think that's something as time goes by, you can get over that and come back. I'm pretty sure, because he's a good fighter, and the runner fighter he's beat, and we didn't think he got the draw. The draw that was a draw, very disputable. You know, he's boxed at the highest level for a long time, so a rest is not a bad thing for him. I would say that.
Yeah, one thing he has been, you're right, Barry, is busy. Like, he's been giving you fights every 4 to 5 months, and maybe now this is the time to press pause and just to think things over a little bit. On Brandon Figueroa, let's give the new champions some credit here. How much of a surprise was that performance? Because as Barry touched on, didn't look great against Joey Gonzalez, didn't look great in the second fight against Stephen Fulton as well. Maybe not the strongest at this new weight class for him, featherweight, but it seemed to all come together. Second time under Manny Robles as well. It just all worked tonight, didn't it?
Yeah, look, I don't think it's a massive shock. I don't. I give him a hell of a chance. You speak to a lot of people throughout fight week. Look, we was there at the weigh-in, wasn't we, yesterday, and a lot of people saying this is a real pick and 50-50. He's been at the weight for 3.5 years or something like that, Figueroa, so he's grown nicely into it. And yeah, he fought to his strengths. I was saying all along, you know, certainly when it comes to the scoring, about the aggression being effective. You know, you might be coming forward, but you've got to land the shots to therefore warrant you winning the round. But what he did, though, with that aggression being effective, was really empty the tank of Nick Ball. And that's where you see the exhaustion show. And when that shot landed, which perhaps if he would have landed it earlier, wouldn't have had the same effect. It was the tiredness. So it was that effective aggression, if you like.
Adi, he's a two-weight world champion. He already was going into this fight, but he's regained another title. He's beaten a list of unbelievable fighters as well, and Brandon Figueroa. His career's still ongoing. This kid could be a Hall of Fame fighter before we called it a day at some point. A very, very good fighter, so Nick Ball is nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, the thoughts of 3 world champions here on stage with me. Let's hear from another former undisputed champion. Josh Taylor's with Dev Sani for his reaction. Dev.
Well, ringside here with Josh Taylor, and Josh, just your reaction to a thrilling fight with a quite shocking ending there.
Yeah, it was a heavy knockdown at the end there, so it was quite concerning. You know, he was face down, you know, so it was good to see him getting up, getting the oxygen and getting out quite safely and swiftly, you know. So yeah, it's a heavy night for British boxing and obviously Liverpool boxing as well. So yeah, I felt bad for Nick there, you know, but it was a tough night from the get-go. I've never really saw Nick on the back foot and moving on the outside quite a lot. So you've got to give credit where credit's due to Figueroa for sort of holding the centre of the ring and making sort of Nick box his kind of fight, his own kind of fight. So yeah, you got to give credit to the champion. But yeah, I feel bad for Nick there because that was a horrible way to go out there.
How did you have the fight going into that last round?
I sort of had it close, but I had Figueroa just ahead. I mean, obviously I never had the scorecard in front of me or scoring it down, but just going from watching the fight, I had sort of Figueroa just slightly ahead, just nicking it. And it kind of could have went into that last round there. It could have, like a nicker, like the take it the last round could have won the fight. So yeah, obviously devastating finish for Figueroa, and obviously great for him and retaining his belt in devastating fashion. But yeah, I feel quite bad for Nick there. That was a horrible way to go out.
Well, his heart will be broken. What would be your kind of advice to Nick Ball right now? I mean, every fighter tends to lose at some point, but his heart will be broken right now.
Yeah, he'll be devastated. It'll be the end of his world as he knows it. So just my advice would be just take a little bit of time, stay off social media, that's for sure. Stay off social media, turn that off, and just take some time with yourself, with your loved ones and close ones, your friends and family, close ones. Take some time to yourself, recoup, then get back in the gym and jump back on that horse.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you for all your hard work this week as well. You've been brilliant.
No worries. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Back to you, Ade.
He has been very, very good, and that advice there was sound, Barry. It's what you said as well. Just he will be devastated. It will feel like his world's crumbling around him. Just take some time out.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, and he's still a good fighter. And a loss doesn't define you. Brandon Figueroa is a prime example of that. It's a really hard division. There's not one easy fight there, and they're not just the champions. I mean, from like the 6 up in all the organisations, they're all hard fights. So you're always going to be at risk of losing. And Carl said that when you box at the highest level, it's the little things that make a difference. And sometimes you just fatigue, and that's all that was. It was a good. He got caught with a good shot in the last round, and that's it. And that's what boxing. That's the beauty and the brutality of boxing.
One thing we were saying beforehand is that if Nick Ball wins, the idea of him versus Shushu Carrington over here, and it would have been a massive fight for British boxing. Can that now be, I guess, the same thing for Brandon Figueroa, a fight back in America against Shushu?
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to want the biggest fights possible. You know, he's, in my opinion, completed boxing, freeweight world champion. That's incredible. You know, he'll be looking for the biggest possible fights out there to really cement even more history. Carrington is a different breed, though. That man can fight. He really can. Shushu, he's incredible. But there's big fights in the division, a division that's still searching for its ring champion. So that there's still exciting fights out there for Figueroa. But for me, Nick Ball, take a bit of time, relax, and it's down to him now if he wants to do it. He's had an incredible career already. Let's not get that wrong. He's earned some good money. He's succeeded. If he thinks to himself as well, look, I've had enough, that's it. But he can certainly come back.
What about trilogy with Stephen Fulton?
There you go. There's loads out there, isn't it? There is loads. And the fact, as you said, Darren, that the Ring Magazine belt is vacant shows how busy and how tough that division is to actually get that Ring Magazine belt. All right, that was a dramatic ending. So was Andrew Kane. And that fight against Alejandro Gonzalez, that was dramatic as well, Carl. We thought it was over. Round 8, we were like, okay, I was getting ready to kind of sum up what Andrew Kane does next. Yeah, because it looked like he was done here.
Look, it was a body shot, a well-placed body shot, and he was really hurt. Look, he's still on his feet here, and nothing really happens, and then he falls down. So it just shows you the lingering effects of the body shot. But it was weird because I wasn't, not that I wasn't concerned, but I wasn't thinking, right, that's it. Game's over now for Andrew Kane. I always thought he could maybe come back and pull something out. Didn't expect him to do it in the next round, if I'm being completely honest. But fantastic shot to finish it. And what he done in that round is he was so relaxed, where he was tense the rest of the fight. But the body shot made him relax a little bit more, and he just threw a shot and got the win.
What shocked me was he went back to the corner and he was like stumbling back to the corner. And obviously Paul Stevenson's got in his ear, and it was difficult to listen as to what we said. I think we've got the audio now of what Paul was saying, just to kind of really motivate him and galvanise him to get up to go in for round 9. Can we play that audio?
We need a bit of room. He's expended a lot of energy there. He's gassing a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, can you carry on? Breathe. Listen, we're not giving this up. No, yeah. So, yeah, he's good. Got to recover. Need some room and some time. Get on your feet a little bit. If he tries to rush you, throw something big and solid, you know what I mean? But you've got to work around this. Andrew, this is your whole life, okay? So, you have to find a way through this.
I love that, because sometimes you can get all technical, can't you, and to do this, do that. Sometimes it's simple. Look, you got to find a way through. And what I like is Andrew Kane found himself, didn't he? He was like, he started screaming to himself, like, I'm going to find a way through this, don't worry.
Fantastic. I mean, it's something out of Rocky, that. It really was. But you could see the pain he was still in when he's back in that corner, really trying to breathe as much as he could in agony to come out the way he did. And can I just say, from start to finish, that was a fantastic show. We had a bit of everything. We really did brilliant night of boxing.
But Kane there, I think, was in his own thoughts. I think you're immersing your own pain, and you're just thinking, how can I get out of it? And that should have been a recovery. I know I wasn't that worried. That should have been a recovery, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, just to get the breath back in his lungs.
Look at the crowd.
And he just went for it. He landed with a lovely shot. But then the next shot, the straight shot, the last shot there on the middle of that right hand, that was the finisher for me. I mean,
by the way, Baz, the crowd, and this is one for all three of you, the crowd were incredible. Like, when he got up, you almost felt like the crowd carried him to the corner and carried him outside of the corner to carry on, didn't they? I mean, the noise they made. I mean, Andrew said in the post-fight interview of Dev, no, I got up myself, but I think the crowd helped him get up as well.
Well, a massive football city, this. And, you know, to use the phrase they're doing football, you know, the crowd being the 12th man, they were that. for Andrew Kane for sure. You know, he was in a bad, dark place. And, you know, that's a thing of fairy tales there. He's fighting for a world title in his next fight.
Incredible, isn't it? On that final one on Andrew Kane, next, obviously, that was a WBC final eliminator. Down the line, is he ready for that world title shot next? Would you do it next?
Yeah, I mean, he's ticked a lot of boxes, Adeo. He really has. He's shown a lot that you can't teach, you can't buy. So that brings a lot of, you know, self-belief. I think he's ready, and he'll want that big opportunity now.
Baz?
Yeah, it's a hard ask. I've got to be honest. It is. I think any organisation, it's a. Did we say this about all the weights now? They're stellar champions, and Inouye's brother, Inouye, is a very, very good fighter, but he can be hit. And if Kane can hit you, he's got a chance. And so, you know, it's a big ask, but you're there now. That fight was the fight to get you there. All you want is your chance to fight for it. What happens then will happen.
Won't be easy, innit? Potentially going to Japan to win that belt as well.
It'll be difficult, but world titles should always be difficult if you're a challenger trying to win one. So we know it's going to be different. Inouye is a good fighter, not as good as the brother, but
not many are.
Not many are. But
four plane tickets there, though, surely.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
I've never been to Japan.
I've always wanted to go there as well.
Maybe,
that would be
do you know
nice.
what? Though Brandon Figueroa flew 12 hours to a country he's never been before and just ripped the WBC title off. We were saying Britain's best champion.
Yeah,
they can be done.
There you go. Dalton Smith went to America. It can happen. Going the opposite way. All right, it's been an incredible start to the year. Obviously, last week in New York, we saw Shakur Stevenson put on a masterclass against Teofimo Lopez. But that wasn't the only action in New York City. They were giving a few awards away as well.
On DAZN, the fights never stop. With the biggest nights in boxing all year long.
It has never been bigger for any fighter in the history of this country. Let's get ready to rumble!
Every week, it's on. And join us ringside, the undisputed global home of boxing. Watch only on DAZN.
Clearly jumping the queue there. I thought we were talking Bring Awards, but no, we're talking about us being the home of boxing because we are, and here's what's coming your way on DAZN this week. If you like your bare knuckle boxing style, then it's Destination Philadelphia later on tonight as BKFC's Knuckle Mania 6. On Tuesday night, we head to Grand Rapids, Michigan for Josh Pagan versus Brian Jimenez, and we're back on British soil next Sunday for Thiago Osorio Muxanga versus Asenia Byfield. No, carry on, gents. Don't pretend you weren't just helping each other trying to get his ears in. It's been a good night. It's always hard to say it's been a good night when you see one of your home favourites lose a world title fight, but it has been good. It's been a good start to the year as well, and disappointing, but ultimately, that's boxing, as the gent said. Brandon Figueroa came here, nicknamed the Heartbreaker, and he broke a few hearts as well. He is the new WBA featherweight champion, but Nick Bull will come again. We'll see you soon.
Under your wing, everything